Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode where I'm looking a little bit disheveled, like I might be living rough. But we see I at least have a humble hovel here that I live in. We are upstairs, and we do have vaulted ceilings that gives us a really gnarly echo. There's no soundproofing. I haven't set this up as a studio, so we're going to be treating that with AI. Now, what's the purpose of this video? We've gone through this process. I've been showing you the series on this build that got put off, and I'm not going to go into the history, but this particular episode, what we're going to do, we're going to finish up. We're going to look at some benchmarking with Cinebench. We're going to look at some thermal performance. You've seen how it went together. You know what we built it with. I'm going to do pull that alpha cool off. The water block, what do they call it, alpha cool 1 or whatever. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it's just one I could find that didn't have visual spots to it that will let light in and contaminate the water and get growth going. So anyway, we have what we have. We're going to pull that off and look at it. And I will tend to overpace before I underpace. And so I just want to say, okay, I pulled my usual, what looked right to me. Maybe it looked like a little bit excessive, a little heavy. And we get a little roll around the edges, but I think you'll see that we get very good coverage with that. And we haven't pushed it anywhere ugly that we have to mess with. And of course, since I don't do it, and I don't mean this ugly to other people, but I just think it's kind of stupid to take a processor apart, delid one. Now, if you can direct die without tearing one up, that's something. But if you got to tear something up to fix it, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So I don't delid processors. I will never use liquid metal, anything that's conductive, and as long as you're using a thermal paste that's good and greasy, like it's not thick and chunky like it's already drying out, I think you're probably in pretty good shape. You're not going to hurt anything. The worst you do is pull it off. And I just kind of wanted to see. Every now and then you need to paste one up and then pretty well much take it back off and see what's going on. See if you did a good job, because that'll give you a visual point in your brain. Yeah, this looks enough. Because have you seen some of these ridiculous videos out there? Oh, we do one as a line, or 3 lines, or one vertical line, or an X, or single dot. Single dots have been working for years, but the thing that bothers me is this new tendency for people to spread it like butter icing across a cake. You know, we're gonna cover it all up first and spreading a line. It's like, hey, how about we squeeze it out and we extrude it to the edge? That way we know we have a good coverage on this. But anyway, we're going to do that. We're going to look at some of those thermals. We're going to look at a little bit of comment real quick before we go, because I know this is a long intro. When I look at core temp, because that's what I'm using to monitor all the 24 cores, core temp tells me I got a clock speed of 55 or something like that, 54. What it doesn't tell me, when I go into the BIOS and XTU and I look, I see that I've got cores that are setting themselves to 58. Okay, that's cooking pretty good at 58, and I don't overclock it past that. I find out what it does is it quickly bangs out on the current limit and the wattage limit. And the speed is already maxed out on a couple of cores, and XTU figures out which ones it wants to do. And I haven't been able really to improve too much on XTU. The current limit and the wattage limit, and the speed is already maxed out on a couple of cores, and XTU figures out which ones it wants to do. And I haven't been able really to improve too much on XTU, not and stay stable. Anyway, we are running on the microcode. We are running 0113 on the microcode. We haven't done the 114 yet. I thought about updating that after the bricking episode. I haven't done that yet, simply because when I look at it, they haven't said it was official. So 114, Intel said it was official, but ASRock didn't say it's official. And we had that little thing, something got out of whack or was built broken. I'm not sure which one's which. We're still running the same birthing person board, so it's not it as far as I can tell. That's stable. We're still running that G-Skill memory that a fellow producer, YouTube producer, says he had trouble with, but he's an AMDer, and they just don't admit when AMD's got problems too, and I think they're just having problems with AMD's memory control on their processor. Not that anybody didn't have flies on them at some point in their life, but anyway, we got what we got. We got a good show for you. We're going to look at that. If you're just curious about this kind of stuff, I think I do probably some fairly decent shows. If you're attention deficit, maybe they're not for you. That's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings much. But anyway, let's get on with it. Like Bugs Bunny says, on with the show. This is it. Well, there we have the final drain. Just get those last drippy drops out. We're a little teetered over the top, so we don't want to be chasing German Shepherds through the house or anything like that, which is good because I don't have any German Shepherds. So we've got it like that. We got it propped up, pitching this as forward as we possibly can. Now, they won't tell us what's in that magic black bottle, but they say it wouldn't hurt to leave it in there, but it's not really intended to be a coolant. I guess we'll find out. We're going to get as much of it as we can out, let her sit for an hour or two, and then we'll fill it up. I don't think anybody's interested in seeing that particular portion of it, so we'll just omit that for time. Well, how did we do? How did everything work out? Do we see a lot of water spillage anywhere? Anything in the back? I'm not seeing it. Do we see down here? Because I don't want to get my water to roll down in this little plastic part here, because that's where I have the type A's and type C's in the front. So I don't want water going there. It looks like it worked pretty well. What do you think? No official drain. A means to drain. I think it'd probably be better to have a set drain in there. I just didn't do it. Well, we're a few hours shy of 48. And of course, you saw how high I topped it to start with. Because after a system has been drained, there's a lot of air bubbles trapped inside. It takes a while for them to work their way around. So I like to top it off extra heavy, knowing that I'm going to get something like this. Look how much we've lost. Well, I thought I'd pull the water block off, and what do you think about that paste? Looks like it's fairly smooth. We might have a high spot in the middle. Not excessive, adequate, but not excessive. Let's look on the unit. And not too much spilling over the side. It never left the IHS. Well, what do you think about this? Just a simple scraping with a plastic scraper across the surface of that block. That was Alpha Cool block scratched the chrome. How about that? I'm not impressed. Now, not believing that there is enough thermal paste in the Alpha Cool Apex, because we saw how that was. Let's look up here. Now, this is just about the size of bead I would put through there. It's going to squish to the edge, sure, but it's one of those things, as long as it doesn't electrically conduct, it's better to have too much than not enough. Just my opinion. Hey, appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, if you will, subscribe to the channel, either the YouTube or the Rumble channel, which this appears in. And if you can, check the notification bell or settings to make sure that you get notified when new videos are posted. Appreciate it. Just doing a little manual tuning, and we did hit over 2600. What are our temperatures? Still look good. I would expect them to look good. 260 watts, 264 watts. Well, we're coming down to the final stretch of this adjustment. Let's check those temperatures. 70, 60, through their 80s. A couple of 80s. That's not too hot, is it? Hottest is what, 82? We came in a little hotter at 25, 72. It hit
26 at the start, but as the 10 minutes went on, it just dropped all the way down to 25.72. Let's see if we can take it another notch. Maybe not, I don't know. What do you think? Alrighty, what do you say we do a little flyby? Looking at the blue on the Evo case, a stripe. Looks a little lighter on camera than it does in real life. And we have it pretty dark. Hey, I'm wearing that same gray shirt. Alright, there we got our little blue static and our PG upside down. Then we figured out how to turn the G-skills blue. What do you think? Well, sure, that glass sure is shiny. Do you like it better that way or off? Just comment below and tell me what you think. I'm not a big fan of the chasing rainbow bit, but that's just me. Well, I'd like to ask you to consider commenting and subscribing to the channel you see this. And of course, hit that notification bell so you can see the content when it comes out. Well, I'm still working the bugs out of getting the softwares moved up and the network expanded, that sort of thing. But this is a video that you see before you is before this ending that I'm tacking on. You can see about what it looks like. I produced 3 different videos on the series, specific series, and I just produce it for 3 different channels, and therefore I get 3 different outputs. Some of these tracks are not always active, but it produced 12 minutes worth of video roughly in less than 2. So, you know, I think the production is pretty good. But the biggest thing I notice about its operation is it's snapping so much faster between edit and production, because the producing portion of it can be very, very slow for some reason. And that Gen 5 T705 is really getting it pretty good, looks like. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I got a bigger screen. I had 3 24s downstairs. This one I got 132, and I've got to put another one above it, which is going to be a new video coming your way any day now. But yeah, it sped it up.